Nearly 11 months ago to the day, Marksville and Avoyelles boys basketball teams took the floor with a trip to the state Final Four on the line, with the Tigers eventually cutting down the nets after a thriller. The stakes aren't as high in Tuesday's rematch, but playoff seeding and Avoyelles Parish bragging rights will have to do. Marksville trying to respond after just their third loss of the season to Madison. Tigers had all the answers to start the game. Armani Benjamin gets the steal, leads the fast break to a Devon Hayes dunk. Later in the first, Ricky Lewis Jr. left wide open in the corner for three. Marksville by 14, final seconds of the quarter. Kion Carmouche gets the bounce on the long ball. Tigers dominating 24-7 after one. Second quarter, the Tigers still can't miss. Devin Laviolette can't leave him open. Tigers by 20. Mustangs trying to fight back. Chris Barnes' step back triple helps the Avoyelles offense wake up, but Marksville answered every punch thrown. Dane Small gets big, drives in, hoop plus the harm. It was a party inside Jackie Small Gymnasium all night long. Still in the second, Hayes gets the feed in the post, count the basket and one. The Tigers' big man has become a star as of late. The playoff rematch goes in favor of the Tigers. Marksville rolls 83-52. Earlier in the night, Lady Tigers and the Mustangs facing off. Pick it up in the second quarter. Mustangs up 7 when Kimora Hill hits the long two-pointer. Marksville rallying back late in the quarter. Layla Dorsey with the steal takes it to the basket for 2. Tigers down 4 at the half. Third quarter, Dorsey again with the drive and score. Marksville still down 4, but Avoyelles controlled the final quarter and a half. Serenity Bonnet swings it to Hill, who gets the friendly roll on the long ball. Mustangs stretch the lead. Fourth quarter, more threes from Avoyelles. Hill left open at the top. She drains it. Lady Mustangs get the win 45-25.